Was the Apostle Paul the original Antichrist? Former minister and Bible college graduate Jeffrey Daugherty raises this and other staggering questions from the New Testament itself. The Christian Whistleblower asks if Jesus' original message has been warped into a fear and guilt-based control matrix. Here's Ali with more.
Thanks, Seb. Daugherty's 35 years of research challenge everyone to consider new perspectives and ask themselves, just what lies behind my religion? Are we born with original sin, or the spark of divinity within?
Deep questions, Ali. Thanks. The Christian Whistleblower. We'll be watching.
And one more try. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Well, there we go. I don't know what was wrong, but I don't know how many of you are still around, but I hope that you are, because we are still ready to rock and roll. And please, for the love of baby Jesus, don't anybody else tell me that the sound is out. Let's move on from that. Let's get past that. We understand the sound was out. Don't ever say that again, or I'll ban you for a history of history. I'm kidding. But please, enough with the sound is out. So let's move on, because the sound is in, ladies and gentlemen. It's late night in the heartland. Rough start. I don't know what was going on, but it is not going on anymore. And we've got a lot going on tonight. It's the new year, and I'm telling you, folks, it is a new day. It is a new start, and we're going to start bringing you some new types of revelation. Now, we've had about 100 new subscribers in the last couple of days. I'm out for peace, love, and CBD. I'm telling you, this CBD, go to HempWorks, or excuse me, go to either jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the HempWorks logo, or just go to Whistleblower CBD. I mean, this stuff, I'd be going nuts right now if it wasn't for the CBD. It just keeps you nice and calm. It keeps you leveled. I think it gets rid of chronic pain. And you're using CBD, use it through me. And let me get a few shekels, and you can get your CBD, and it's the best CBD out there. It's number one for a reason. So go to whistleblowercbd.com. Pick some up, and you can even get a cool shirt if you want. Peace, love, and CBD, although you don't have to. But we've had 100 subscribers in the last day or so. You just have to do what I did. You got to reset. And when we have too many subscribers, we get worried. So we kick in the subscriber control department. And my message tonight is an effort to comply with the subscriber control department, because we're going to talk about some stuff tonight that's going to piss a lot of you off. I'll tell you right now, a lot of you are going to be pissed off. A lot of you don't want to hear it, but it's what you need to hear at this time in history more than ever. And it's time for you to get with the program and change your life and stop existing and start living. So tonight, we're going to break it down for you. We're going to show you what's going on, and we're going to take you into 2021, the new year, with a new you and a new deal if you want to. And if you don't, that's okay, because we were here before you were here, and we'll be here after you're gone. Of course, I'm just being a little bit facetious, but we're not here. We are not here to gain subscribers. We're here to bring a message. Hopefully, the message will bring subscribers, but the message is going to go out, and it's going to go out loud and proud and strong. So let's go ahead and jump right into it tonight with that warning. Don't say I didn't tell you so, because I did. They live, and they don't want you to. It's the SNWO plan to rule your life, and P.S., it's working. What in the world is the SNWO? Thank you, Chick Pot Pie. Says that last night was a fantastic show. The SNWO, what is that? I don't know. You'll just have to hold on and wait and see what the SNWO is. Thanks to Bob in Kingston, Ontario. Kathy can't wait. Over on D-Live, you're the only one speaking the full truth, says maple syrup is good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I knew the sound was bad, but we got that straightened out. Nice to see all of you everywhere where you are. So I will tell you what this is. And of course, you notice this is from They Live. Kind of a nice little thumbnail, I thought. So let's jump right in, folks. The SNWO, They Live. Truthers love to talk about they. They are to blame for everything. But truthers never identify the they. Have you ever noticed that? Truthers will always say they're doing this. And truthers will always say they're doing that. The truthers will always say it's them, it's they, it's them, it's they. But the truthers will never, ever tell you who they are. Do you ever wonder why truthers will never tell you who they are? Because they, the truthers, are part of the they. And if you're part of the they, then you can't report on the they. You know what I'm saying? If you're part of they, then you can't identify they. They live. And 99.999999999999999 of the quote-unquote truthers are part of the they that live. They're bought and paid for. Listen to me loud. Listen to me proud. I am not a truther. I'm not a truther. I am a person striving to be aware and striving to give others the information to become aware. And I'm challenging you in 2021, let's get it done. Let's leave the truther movement. Let's leave the truther psyop. And let's join up, or how about we just start the awareness movement? I'm done. I'm not a truther. I'm not woke, because woke is a joke and truther is a psyop. I am aware. I'm glad you woke up too, Angela. And I will tell you who they are. None of these others will tell you who they are because they're part of they. And they can't identify they. They are the SNWO. The Sanhedrin New World Order. It's the NWO. It's the Illuminati. It's the Freemasons. It's the Jesuits. It's the Limish. It's the globalists. It's the communists. It's the Christians, etc. Those are all synonyms. And that's not something you put on toast. That's something, anyway. So what is the plan of they? What's the plan of the Sanhedrin New World Order? The plan of the Sanhedrin New World Order is to force dualistic existence. And this plan is working. And I'll tell you why the plan is working. The plan is working because about in the late 40s, some guy figured out the plan. And he gave us the antidote to the plan. And they saw that he gave us the antidote to the plan. So they took his plan and they turned it around and they made something called MK Ultra, and they've been bashing the plan ever since. I've been in this for 40 years. That's longer than most of you have been alive. And I have found the most elegant and powerful collections of spiritual technologies to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And you're not going to like it, and I don't care if you like it or not, because I don't care if you like it. You are not ready until you're desperate to do anything and everything and to lay aside all of your time-honored truths and beliefs and just look for something that's going to set your sorry ass free. The antidote was found in 1948. And it was called Dianetics. It was called Scientology. That's right, motherfuckers. That's right. And it was turned into MK Ultra. But we're talking about white Dianetics. That's what we're talking about tonight. White Dianetics. And if you can get your thick skull past that, I got something to set you free. If you can't get past that, leave now. Because you're not ready to be ready. First of all, let me say, no, Tom Cruise isn't right. The Church of Scientology, as it stands today, is a dangerous, poisoned well. Stay out of it. In fact, stay out of all churches. But what was originally started in 1948, white Dianetics, literally, and I'm not going to spend the whole show, but literally, Ron Hubbard was developing white Dianetics at this, it's called Oak Harbor Marine Hospital. And they were taking his data and using it to create MK Ultra, literally MK Ultra in another wing in the same building. So MK Ultra is what you guys know and love, and it's got you praising Jesus and giving your soul to the Father and pleading the blood and singing the blood and reading the red letters. It's got you doing all that. But white Dianetics will set you free. And what white Dianetics will do is get you rational in your rational mind. and Christianity and all those other things, the SNWO, get you out of your rational mind. Listen to me if you dare. As long as your analytical mind is fully functioning, no receipt of an engram is possible. What's an engram? An engram is what a Christian would call a demon, but it's not. An engram is something that shuts off your rational mind, makes you become irrational, and makes you act out in patterns that you can't stop. You weren't born with original sin. You're born with the spark of divinity within. And the things you do wrong are not because you're bad. It's because bad things were done to you. Just hold on, stay with me, and you'll see where I'm going. As long as your analytical mind is fully functioning, no receipt of engrams is possible. Call it demons for now. That's why I'm so against hypnotism, plant medicines, and anything else that reduces your analytical mind function. Because when that reduces your analytical mind function, it opens you to MK Ultra, which they are constantly bombarding us with. And if you get out of rationality into irrationality because your analytical mind is turned off or reduced in effectiveness, then you're open to MK Ultra, and they will implant the engrams in your mind. Folks, we are constantly bombarded with NK Ultra, with electronic bombardment. And if we, yes, alcohol is included, and if we allow our analytical minds to be lowered, we open ourselves up to their bombardment. If we allow ourselves to fall below tone 2.0 on the tone scale, I know I'm throwing a lot of new stuff at you, and it's okay. You can go to my playlist, which is called Create Yourself, and you can find out what's going on. But basically, it's a scale of where you can be and a scale of where most of you are. It's an up and down scale. At 2 on that scale, for the most part, your analytical mind has shut down. You are on automatic. And everything that you receive that's connected with pain or painful emotion will get implanted into your mind as let's call it a demon circuit. It's not really a demon, but that's the only way you can think of it right now. It's a demon circuit. And it causes you, as soon as it turns on, you lose control, and you're acting out ways where you say, why the hell did I do that? And guess what tone 2 is called? Back in 1948, they called it antagonism. Can you think of any word that characterizes our world today any better than antagonism? And antagonism, folks, lies between anger, which is right above it, and boredom, which is right below it. Think about yourself. Think about the people that you know. Think about the way they act. Think about the way they think. Think about the place they live. I am telling you, and if you'll look and be honest, you will know that we are bouncing between anger and boredom in our lives. It's divide and conquer. It's keeping us in a dualistic program. And the goal of the Sanhedrin New World Order was to get us all to live at or below 2.0. Why do you think 2020 was their big year? Why do you think they tried and pulled out all the stops in 2020? 2.0, 2.0. Why has 2020 been characterized by antagonism? 2020, 2.0, 2.0 antagonism. The SNWO wants us living in a perpetual dualistic ping pong between boredom and anger in a world of divide and conquer. Think of the people that you know. I'm so bored. I'm angry. I'm going to burn something down. I don't got this. I don't got that. They got all this. They got all that. We're in a world that is bouncing between boredom and anger. And they're full of antagonism. What are the BLM people? They're antagonized and they're angry. What are the Antifa people? They're antagonized and they're angry. And the people that still have some energy about them are out burning shit down, and the other ones are at home, what? Bored. Bored. Watch this now. And when you're in that position of antagonism between anger and boredom, when you get pain or get painful emotion, it'll push you down even lower. It's just like getting anesthesia in an operation, and it further turns your analytical mind off. And what is the Sanhedrin New World Order trying to do to us? They're trying to keep us anesthetized. They keep us anesthetized through the lithium and the stuff that they dust on us from chemtrails. They keep us anesthetized by the stuff that you're still eating when you go through the drive-through and when you eat out of a box or you eat anything that is processed. They're keeping you anesthetized when the first thing you do in the morning, and some of you people that are so irrational that you sleep with these things in your ears and you're listening to their music all night long. You're watching the TV all night long. You're being anesthetized. You brush your teeth with fluoride. You're being anesthetized. You drink alcohol. You lick frogs. You're being anesthetized. And when you're anesthetized, your analytical mind is shut down, and they can program anything and everything they want to right into your mind. They're trying to keep us anesthetized while activating us when they want to bounce between boredom and anger at their bidding. Let's keep them anesthetized. Let's keep them wearing a mask on their face. Let's keep them locked down at their house. Let's keep them shutting down their business. Let's keep them hypnotized until we need them. Then we'll activate them and then let them go angry. Let's keep them bored most of the time and just sitting at home. But when we need them, we'll activate them and we'll get them right up into anger via antagonism. Now remember, numb and dumb. That's a great point. Just because your awareness is depressed doesn't mean that your emotion's depressed. When you're at home and you're bored, you're probably really acting out powerfully emotionally. You're crying. You're thinking about killing yourself. When you're out there burning shit down and protesting, you're also manifesting big-time emotion. What motivates people right now? What motivates people right now is perceived danger or perceived sympathy. Everybody is running from danger and towards sympathy. And it's danger and sympathy that drives the tone of the individual. You know what else drives the tone of the individual down? Poisons. They're filling us up with poisons. All right, we're through the hard part now. You'll start seeing this come together. You'll start seeing this come together now, ladies and gentlemen. And this is helping you in the new year. There's two things that combine to drive down your analytical mind, shut you down, turn you into an automaton. Two things. Number one is a lack of physical optimization, being reduced in your physical being, eating bad food, taking bad substances into your body, not eating good food, not exercising, putting a mask over your face and rebreathing your own exhaust for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, not being able to go out and exercise because you're locked down, not being able to go to work because you're locked down, not exercising, not caring about your physicality, just trying to survive. not even trying to thrive. They're reducing our physical being. Jeff, you talk about all these products and this and that. I am trying to improve your physical optimization, because if you're not physically optimized, you're much easier to become an automaton and turn down your rationality. And the other thing is a reduced mental state of being, a lack of mental optimization. This is what unindoctrination is all about. Being optimized mentally, being optimized physically, so you can be optimized spiritually. Everybody's a dude. So you can see the plan of the Sanhedrin New World Order, and that plan is to drive you down physically, to drive you down emotionally. And you can clearly see this played out in Christianity. What does Christianity teach you? Christianity teaches you that you at best are a sinner saved by grace. They teach you that you were born sinful, born deserving hell, born deserving the lake of fire. You killed Jesus. You hung him on the cross. They're pounding you, making you think how bad you are and how horrible you are and what a piece of shit you are. And then they teach you that your physicality, well, really, that's just physical exercise profits little, says the Apostle Paul, who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. You shouldn't be worried about your physical body. Be worried about your spirit. Don't worry about, that's why most Christians are fat. Because all they can do is stuff their faces. All they can do is eat. They can't even have sex to work it off. That's why Christians are fat, most of them. Because the only vice they're allowed to do is stuff their faces. Why? Because Christianity is trying to drive you down physically, having already driven you down mentally. Communism does the same thing. You're not even a person in communism. You're just a cow. And I've been saying this for a month, and I'm going to say it again until everybody gets it. Look at the 7 seals of Revelation. Look at the end of the book of Revelation. Look at communism. It's the same exact story. Christianity, the 7 seals of Revelation, is a description of how communist revolution occurs. At the end of the 7 seals of Revelation and at the end of communist revolution, you got one guy, a limb, ruling from one place, one world government, one world order with absolute dictatorial power over every single person on the planet. That's exactly where Christianity ends. That's exactly where communism ends. Christianity is communism is Christianity. That's why, listen to what I'm saying, Christianity must be eradicated. Because where there is Christianity, there will always be the seeds of communism. You never heard anything like that before, have you? If you've got any brain cells left over on D Live, I see a bunch of you over there. I see a bunch of you here on Facebook. Licking frogs frees you from the illusion. Just keep telling yourself that, John. Just keep telling yourself that. It's not going to work for you, brother. I'm telling you. It's time for you to stop looking for shortcuts, and it's time for you to start taking responsibility. Where there's Christianity, there will always be seeds of communism. That's why both of them have to be eradicated. Now, enter the valence, enter the dragon. Once your analytical mind is toned down, the individual realizes that they're turned off. They realize that their analytical mind is turned off. And once you realize that your analytical mind is turned off, that you no longer have any way to think for yourself and decide for yourself, once you realize that, you start looking around for another active analyzer that's around that you can exist in. You can't think anymore, so you start reaching out for something to help you think. You start reaching out for a preacher. You start reaching out for a pastor. You start reaching out. Oh, no, I came out of Christianity, Jeff. I'm beyond that. I'm much more smart now. You start reaching out for a spirit guide. You start reaching out for an ascended master. You start reaching out for a guru. Being unconscious in your own mind, you start desperately seeking another consciousness to exist in and through. That's why you have to go on YouTube and find out what's happening and find somebody who can tell you what to think about it. That's why you've got to run to your tarot card, your astrologer, your spirit guide, your angel cards, your ascended master, because you've got to be told what's going on and what to think about it, because you can't do it for yourself anymore because your analytical mind has been turned off. And these other things, these gurus, these spirit guides, these ascended masters, those are called valences. And you will always look for one of two valences once you have given up your own analytical mind. You'll always look for something that's either sympathetic. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I feel so sorry for you. I just want to love you. I just want to help you. What do your spirit guides say to you? What do your angels say to you? What do your ascended masters say to you? We just want to love you. We just want to fellowship with you. We just want to help you. What do your gurus and your liars on YouTube say to you? We just want to give you the truth. We just want to help you. We know that things are bad and horrible. We just want to help you. It's sympathy. And you're so pathetic because your analytical mind shut off. You become so pathetic that you're reaching out for any valence that'll give you a little sympathy. And if you're not looking for sympathy, then you're looking for a winner. I need to hook up with a winner. I need to hook up with somebody who's powerful. I need to hook up with somebody that says they talk to God. I need to hook up with somebody that says they're a prophet. I need to hook up with somebody that says they know it all and they've seen the future and they can tell us what to do. And you get to choose from among the choices offered you by the Sanhedrin New World Order. You get to choose the gurus, the preachers, the teachers, the spirit guides, the angels. And once you've done that, you stop thinking for yourself. You've outsourced your thinking to somebody else. Now your demon circuits, your engrams are fully keyed in. You've got to see the plan before you can resist the plan. Here's the plan. Dumb down humanity. Reduce their analytical mind function. They're even convincing truthers to do it. Jeff, what do you mean? How are they convincing truthers to do it? Listen to me. I talk to God. Listen to me. I'm a prophet. Or listen to the Bible. It has the word of God. Listen to prophecy out of the scripture. It tells you what's happening. It tells you what's coming. You don't have to think for yourself. In fact, they tell you not to think for yourself. What did it say in Proverbs? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your paths. There's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is death. So don't think for yourself. You're just a regular man. You're just a regular woman. You can't think for yourself. You'll wind up in death. Trust in the Lord. Trust in the prophet. Trust in the guru. Trust in the YouTube preacher. The YouTube one that talks to God or is a prophet or has seen the future. Or maybe an alien, a Pleiadian. I know I'm stepping on everybody's toes. This facilitates the creation of Ingrams. It opens you up to Ingrams. They're bombarding you with MK Ultra. Can't you see the plan? The gurus, the prophets, the spirit guides, the readers, the ascended masters. They're the ones to get you to stop thinking and figuring out for yourself and start listening to them. And at the very best, the Bible is written to get you from stopping looking at creation and receiving direct realization from divinity and depending upon old revelation from somebody else for your enlightenment. You're the baby bird in the nest, waiting for mama bird to fly back and blah. You're eating somebody else's pre-digested vomit. Whenever you get revelation, oh, the Bible tells me so. The Bible is barf. It's vomit. It's revelation that somebody else got, and now they've digested it, and they are vomiting it into your mouth. Well, I got it from a book. Yeah, that's somebody else that got it from somewhere else, digested it, and now they're barfing up in your mouth, and you're eating it up. I don't care if it's a preacher. I don't care if it's a pastor. I don't care if it's a guru. I don't care if it's a prophet. I don't care if it's a reader. I don't care if it's a spirit guide. I don't care if it's an ascended master. If you get you, there's no such thing as secondhand revelation. There's no such thing as revelation. Revelation, by definition, comes from somebody else or through somebody else to you. Revelation comes through somebody else or something else to you. Realization comes straight from the divine to you. The bottom line is you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself. You don't believe in yourself. And you're mad at me, but I believe in you. You're mad at me, but I trust you. You're mad at me, but I'm trying to convince you to stop looking for revelation and start fighting for a realization. I'm trying to tell you to quit listening to anybody or anything else and have the tenacity, have the audacity, have the balls to connect with divinity your damn self. But some of you aren't ready for that. And if you're not, I got no time for you anymore. Because they are trying to drive you to 2.0. In 2020 was all about getting you into antagonism. How did it work? How did 2020 work? 2020. They were trying in 2020 to get us to antagonism. How did it work? You don't talk to anybody who's not antagonized. Is there any other word that more accurately describes the world today than antagonism? Thank you, love. Oh, we got leopard skin tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ba, 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 boom. I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her walk away. They want us bouncing between boredom and anger. That's your life. Boredom and anger. Boredom and anger. Boredom and anger. Why? Because you're living in antagonism. I'm telling you the truth. You hate me, you don't like me, but you can't turn me off because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. because you're living in it. And some of you are sick and tired of pretending. This creates great emotional volatility, which they leverage. In addition, they continue to poison and anesthetize you. They continue to compromise your physical optimization. They continue to compromise your mental optimization. They, the Sanhedrin New World Order. Everybody's a snowflake these days, like Daryl says, because they're on the fringe of antagonism, boredom, anger, bouncing in between. It's the Christian communist individual reduction and subjugation plan. Communism teaches the individual's bad. You got to be part of the collective, just like the Borg. Christianity teaches the individual's bad. You got to be part of the body of Christ. The proletariat in communism is the body of Christ in Christianity. The party in communism is the Trinity in Christianity. Christianity and communism are the same thing. They both seek to reduce the individual. They both seek to subjugate the individual to the class, the body of Christ, the class. They both seek to remove the rams and make everybody a sheep. They both seek to remove the exceptional and make everybody boring and ordinary. And when you know that you can't be who you're supposed to be, you'll always have an underlying antagonism. And they will ping you to let it out sometimes through anger and aggression. It's the Christian communist individual reduction and subjugation plan. And P.S., it's working. When individuality, which is divinity, sovereignty, and freedom, is eradicated, people search for valences. The valences offered to us today are the sympathetic and the winner valences. And those are the ones you get to choose from. You get to choose from among the choices they provide. Who's offered as sympathetic? Oh, well, you get to look at Oprah, because Oprah is so sympathetic. Or maybe you get a YouTube guru, because they love you so much. We love you so much. We care so much for you. We just want to hug you and kiss you and rock you like a little baby. You get to choose from the ones that they decide you get to choose from. You get to pick some sympathetic ones. Dr. Phil, Oprah. Or you get to pick from some winners. I want to be like Michael Jordan. I want to be like LeBron James. I want to be like Jay-Z. I want to be like Taylor Swift. You see, that's what people are choosing from. The stupid black people are picking LeBron James and Beyonce. The stupid white people are picking Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber. What's the common denominator there? They're all irrational. Irrational. Look at who society offers as sympathetic. Look at who society offers as winners. Philip says, you're right. I need to take self-responsibility. Philip, you are a grown-ass man. And once society has you reducing your analytical mind and outsourcing your thinking to somebody or something else, they've got you plugged into sympathy and winners of their choice. They've got you fully keyed into engramic demon circuit possession. This explains it all. And think about Christianity for a minute. You do not have the spark of divinity within. That's what Christians tell you. You're filled with original sin. You are not divine, sovereign, and free. You're a sinner in need of a savior. And you've got to come to bended knee, cover yourself in sacrificial blood from a tortured individual, accept not one but two entities into your heart. And by the way, they each bring 7 worse than them. So now you got 16 for the price of 2. And you've got to confess with your mouth. You got to say the spell. And you're giving away what? Your rationality. What do they tell you to have? The mind of Christ. Take every thought captive to Christ. You can't make this up. They want you to give away your rational mind. Why? Because once you say, okay, I want the mind of Christ, you've turned off your mind. You've outsourced your thinking to somebody else, and you thought I was making this shit up. And isn't Jesus both the sympathy and the winner valence? Oh, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you so much. He has such sympathy for you. Of course, he will burn your ass in a lake of fire if you don't agree with him. But Jesus has such sympathy for you. And Jesus is the winner. Jesus is Lord, He's Savior. Jesus is the sympathy valence. Jesus is the winner valence. Jesus is the demon circuit. Jesus is the Ingram. That explains it all. That explains it all. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Here's what it comes down to. Either they live or we live. If we live, we will live, and we will not give them a place in our life. If they live, we won't live. I remind you again what Christianity says. It's no longer I that live. It's no longer I that live. It's Christ that lives within me. You don't live anymore. They live. I was crucified. What happens to somebody when they get crucified? They're dead. I was crucified with Christ, and now He lives in me. You don't live. They live. If you can't see this, then you have no hope, and I have no time to spend on you anymore. I'm looking for people that are tired of living the way they have been told to do. I'm sick and tired. I'm looking for people that are tired of living, moving, existing, working, believing like they have been told to. And I'm looking for people that want to live like we want to live, that want to grow like we want to grow, that want to be flourishing and prospering, that want to find their great basic purpose. I don't have any time for they live people anymore. I got 2 words for you they live people. Well, bye. I'm going to spend all my time with the we live people because we got no more time for them. We got to spend all our time on the people that want to live. This is why they have demonized white Dianetics, because white Dianetics tells you you're good. And everything wrong with you isn't because you did wrong, it's because wrong was done to you. And everything that's wrong with you can be fixed easily. And you don't got to dunk in nobody's blood. You don't got to accept no demons. You don't got to make any confessions. And what does Jesus want you to do? Jesus wants you to do the same thing BLM wants you to do. Jesus wants you to do the same thing Antifa wants you to do. Jesus wants you to do the same thing communism wants you to do. Take a knee. Tell me I'm wrong, you bitch-ass Christian. Tell me I'm wrong. You say you want the truth. You can't handle the truth. But I think you deserve it. I think you're entitled to the truth. See what I just did there? And then Truly 9T brings in the sixth sense. I see stupid people. We're not supposed to say stupid. They live. And they just want you to barely survive so you can be their bitch, their cattle. The Sanhedrin New World Order plan is to rule your life. P.S. It's working. P.S. It's working, and it's working real good. Wow. Now, we're going to open the phone lines, but you got to remember, you can call and you can ask me anything. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me, anything. As long as you can be polite, as long as you can be interesting. It's not a place for you to call and preach a sermon or give a dissertation. It's a place for you to call and ask a question or make a brief and concise statement. That's what we're here for. We're the only people on YouTube that open up at least 10 hours a week and give you a chance to say whatever you got the guts to say. And we got our first caller on the line right now. Please be concise. Please be to the point. And please, let's get right to it. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hello?
Hello, you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
I can't hear you, Jeff.
Well,
I'm not sure if I'm talking to you.
You are talking to me. I hope it's just you that can't hear me and not everybody that can't hear me. Okay. And Tracy says, don't call back if you get disconnected, because you weren't disconnected. You were cut off. That's true. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I'm not sure if I'm talking to you.
Well,
I'm just going to ask.
No, it doesn't work that way. If your phone's not working, we can't be, what, who, bop, bop, dip, dop, bop. No. Somebody else call and let us know if the things are working. That's Linda says, I know you can hear both of us because I don't think her phone's working. That's why we ended that call. You didn't get cut off. Well, you did, but I cut you off. There's an interesting rumor floating around tonight, and it's coming from some fairly reputable, fairly reliable sources. There's a rumor that, and I hate to put this out there, but it seems that maybe Mike Pence has resigned as vice president because he didn't want to do what he was being asked to do in regards to the votes. No, I've only seen it repeated. I haven't seen it reported yet. So I'm not sure, but I was thinking about this over the last week. I was pondering this over the last week because I thought, if Pence won't do it, why doesn't Trump fire him and get somebody that will? It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Can you hear me? Maybe the freaking callers can't hear me, and I have no earthly idea why you can't hear me. I have no earthly idea why you can't hear me. Man, we are being attacked. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing differently. And yet we're getting, I can hear you fine. It's going out. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to hear me. No reason whatsoever why you shouldn't be able to hear me. We'll see what happens with the next call. So I'm wondering, and we'll have to see. Laugh Dancer, we heard you the first 3 times. We read it the first 3 times. Come on, man. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. I know you can hear me because I can hear me in the background. Hello. I can hear myself in the background. Why is this doing this? All right, let me see if I can figure out the settings here. Let's see. Video, audio, phone, caller ID, notifications and sounds, incoming calls, received notifications, missed calls, sounds, mentions, incoming voice calls, incoming video calls, phone, caller ID. I don't understand what's going on. I really don't. Microphone source, default microphone. Let's see. How about this one? I think that might have fixed it, folks. I think that might have fixed it. Somebody else give me a phone call. And we'll see if it works. Cynthia, pick up your phone and call me, sweetheart. I think that will fix it right there. It's like somebody came in and changed all of my settings. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Yay!
Okay, what's up? Let's get to it. Thank you for being persistent.
Yes. So I want to ask about the flat. It's about flat Earth.
Okay, don't tell me what it's about. Just tell me.
It's about the New World Order. I want to ask the rods if there's water 300 feet down throughout the world.
Is there water 300 feet down throughout the world? No answer.
Interesting.
No answer.
Okay.
What else?
Is there water above us?
That's a good question. Is there water above us? The rods say yes, but I mean, does that mean that there's water vapor above us? Does that mean that space is water? Is space water? It says yes. I don't know, man. I don't believe that. That's hard for me, but wow, that's interesting.
Okay, so then ask this question. Is there water that's untapped that we could have unlimited resources of water?
Is there untapped water that we could have as unlimited resources? Yes, I would agree that. It's called precipitation. Somebody says rain. Yeah, I don't know. No. I know what you're saying, but the part of the classic flat Earth is that the space is water and there's water above the firmament, and that's how the Earth got flooded. But that's just a story. So who knows, man? All we know is that we don't know. Is it just vapor, or is it really water in space? Why do astronauts supposedly train in pools? We know they do. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Well, the reason I ask that question is because part of the New World Order is that we live in a world with limited resources, and that's part of the globe theory.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. We don't live in a world of scarcity. Thank you for the call. We don't live in a world of scarcity. We live in a world of abundance. And I think that oil and water are both renewable resources. We won't run out of either one of them. Cynthia says primary water, and she's right. Cynthia says space is liquid. Now, is it liquid like this coffee, or is it liquid like plasma? I don't know. Boy, this is interesting. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Jeff, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. I wanted to bring up a few points to try to tie together your last couple of days of shows.
Okay.
So relating to They Live, think
Mhm.
of the particle collider CERN as being that big satellite dish at the end of the movie that they destroy.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
What if instead of taking us to 5G, Huawei's intentions with all of the repeaters, instead of triangulating, they want to take us to 6G, which they're putting a hex on everyone.
Oh.
So they are going to link together the different towers as a mesh framework for, like what that video you showed yesterday for the Blue Beam project, and then relay that back to the Large Hadron Collider where they're trying to bring in whatever these dragons are.
That's interesting. So they are trying, and you know that what that also ties into is the whole New Age, ascension. So they are trying to ascend us, but not for our betterment.
Right. And have you ever heard of Bishop Larry Gators before?
I have.
He talked about hydrogel in the vaccinations with like the nanotechnology. So if people are getting the injection with the nanotechnology in there, that is how the mesh frame network will control people. And so everything like the, what was the device that Nada uses in the movie and They Live?
I can't remember.
Teleport. Well, the teleportation devices, I think that's like an exact explanation of what their goal is. And if you look at John Carpenter's film, The Thing, that's another really good commentary on like the negative lems hiding within our society.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I just wanted to call and say
and
that I've
some
been
of
watching
us,
every show on repeat.
And some of us, Brandon, we get to the place that even without glasses, we can see that some of these people just aren't right. And we can see, and some of us can actually physically see that their frequency is not right. They're modulating, they're phasing. And more of us will be able to see that as we become. See, that's why they want to keep us in a reduced analytical mind. That's why they want you to have the mind of Christ, because if you have the mind of Christ, it's camouflage. But if you're in your own right mind, then you can actually see the modulation that's taking place.
Absolutely. And I wanted to give you a quick story recap of my Christmas. I flew down to Florida. Do you think I should file a lawsuit against the airline because I bought one of those particle respirator N95 filter masks so I could breathe? And they tried to tell me that I couldn't wear that on the plane. And I told them, I'm like, this is actually designed so that I can breathe, number one. Number two, it actually filters things. And one air stewardess came over and told me that I couldn't wear it. And I told them no. And then they walked away. And then they came back with another one and tried to hand me a mask. And I said no. And then they came back with third. And I'm just like, really, you're going to take this angle with me? And so then they hand me a mask that two other people touched. Like, that should be grounds for a lawsuit, I think.
I think it should too. You might as well do it. Why not?
Right. And then I ended up actually getting sick. I came home. I mean, I could say likely what it was interaction with some of my family that had some sort of something going on, but I am over it now. But I was down for about 5 days. I could sue them and say that because you didn't let me wear the one that I brought with me, I got sick because of it. And I could say that I had COVID.
Well, man, I asked you, I wish you good luck with that. And I hope that it works, because it sounds like, I mean, it's just so stupid. You can't wear a mask that works, but we want you to wear one that doesn't work. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, Jeff. It's John in Tulsa.
Hey, John. What's up, man?
Hey, you read the Epic Times, don't you?
I do, indeed. I'm subscribed to the Epoch Times.
Okay, well, Epoch.
Yeah, whatever.
I was reading about Pence on there today, and it sounded like, and I didn't read a whole lot of it, but it sounded like he said he was not going to go against any of the votes that come through.
I know that they dropped the suit, and that Trump or that Pence was saying that he thought the suit didn't have any merit. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll know soon whether he resigned or not.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's something else up the sleeve. I don't know what's going on, but
well, let's ask the rods. Did Mike Pence resign the vice presidency? The rods say yes. Wow.
Ooh, man.
I've never seen the rods be wrong. Is Mike Pence the vice president of the United States? The rods say no. Wow.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Come on. Okay. Well, anyway, one thing I wanted to say about Dianetics.
Mm-hmm.
You still there? Okay. I read the book about 50 years ago, and I tried to apply some of the techniques myself. And I think I even contacted the Church of Scientology. And I've gotten letters ever since then, but I never did get involved.
You will always be, when you are dead, it'll be like ballots. They'll be sending you ballots after you're dead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I did get a lot of good information out of it. And I mean, I remember reading about the theta and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But I wanted to say that I'm a lucky person, a real lucky person. I had two of the most pessimistic, wide awake parents that you've ever seen in your life. You couldn't sell them nothing. I mean, they were great. One day, I was 9 years old. Jehovah's Witnesses came to the house and sold me the Watchtower or whatever it was. To read about it. My mother got on the phone and called them back to the house and said, "Don't you ever come in my yard and give my kids stuff without going through me. And here's your stuff back. Give me my money."
That's excellent. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And another thing, just quickly, at the Presbyterian church, I was there in the car with my parents when they left the Presbyterian church because they had a woman that changed diapers for the kids in the nursery. Her husband wasn't a member, and the elders tried to get her to pay tithing from her husband, and she said, "I can't do that." And they were talking about throwing her out of the church. And my mom and dad went to the elders and said, "We're leaving."
Good for them. Sounds like you had good parents, John.
I had great parents. But anyway, I'm going to get off and let somebody else talk.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. We appreciate it. Thanks for holding. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeffrey, you know who it is.
It's the token toker. What's up, my brother?
So, we're on the subject of the vice president, or should I say former vice president, right?
Did you hear that, or did you just hear it from me?
I just heard it from you.
Okay.
Shit, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the vice president or the former vice president?
No, yeah, I love brain surgery. It makes me forget things.
Yeah.
And it's not just, it was, at Bush's funeral. Do you remember all the people that got the envelopes?
I do, and it's funny that you're the token toker, and you're like, "Oh shit, man, I forgot." But anyway, yeah, Bush's funeral, I remember.
I remembered, damn it. I remembered, but you remember the funeral, Bush's funeral, right? All the envelopes and the Bible or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, Pence got one of them too.
Yeah, Pence got one too.
Wow. It's starting to come together.
Do you think they're going bye-bye?
You know, and not only did President Trump rush back to Washington, but Pence also rushed back to Washington. And today, I know for sure it's been confirmed that Pence and President Trump were in meetings with President Trump's legal team.
Interesting.
And Pence's wife, too. And, you know, you've heard that Indiana's a heavy child trafficking state. So, wow. Is President Trump saying, would you like us to show these pictures, or would you like to reject those electoral votes? Who knows what's going on, man?
I think it's a clusterfuck. Wow.
It really is, isn't it? It really is. I tell you.
Time to play those trump cards, man.
I mean, now's the time. I mean, this determines what happens for the rest of if we have a country or not anymore.
Seriously, I'm kind of scared, my friend, but oof.
You know what?
Whatever I must higher power is up there, please let it work, you know?
Yeah, I must be emotionally irregular because I'm excited. Thanks, Token Toker. Feel free to call in anytime. Thanks for holding. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeff. This is James.
Hey, James. What's up?
Would you like for me to give you a little bit more on the Samson issue?
The Samson issue?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Judges 13, chapter 13, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of flip the script on you a little bit and see what you think about this. I guess I'll just go ahead and read it. Where it's talking about she may not eat of anything that comes from the vine, nor may she drink wine or strong drink or eat anything unclean.
Right, we're talking about the vow of a Nazarite.
Well, right, but I guess the point that I want to point out is who is the vine?
Who is the vine? Well, textually, the word vine there, the word is actually wine. It's not really vine, but in the New Testament, the Jesus character is called the true vine.
Right. Jesus is the vine and we are the branches. So to me, this verse right here is talking about communion, and it comes with a warning: don't partake of the vine.
Ooh, don't partake of the vine nor eat anything unclean. What could be more unclean than eating sacrificed, tortured human flesh?
Well, I mean, right. Bible Hub, if you look that up, the unclean means religious impurity, is what it means.
It means
so to me, that's
filthiness. Yeah. That's talking about what to you?
Communion.
Yep. Ethical and religious filthiness. You're right. That's exactly what it means. I'm looking, I'll show because people be like, oh, they're just making stuff up. Let me just show you this right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm with him, and we're in Bible Hub, and we're looking at that word, and that word means foul, filthy, of the ethical or religious nature. Wow, that's a big one. Don't drink any wine. Don't drink from the vine. It's what it said in the King James. It doesn't say wine. It says don't drink from the vine. Judges 13, 14. See right there. Don't drink of the vine. Don't drink wine.
So the point that I want to,
and Jesus also said, and don't drink strong drink. What is strong drink? What does that word strong mean? Because the Jesus character made a point. He said strong drink. What is strong? Come on, give me what strong means. Strong means intoxicating or strong, because Jesus said, my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. And they're saying right here, don't drink, don't eat. Wow, that might be a warning contained within the script telling you not to do what they want you to do all the time.
Well, this scripture is referring to, it's talking to Manoah and his wife, which is Samson's parents.
Yeah.
And so he's referring to Samson, and in my opinion, he's calling Samson the vine, and that would mean that Samson. Now, this you may not agree, but Samson and the entity that we call Jesus are one and the same.
I was just thinking that, because if you think about Samson, he was characterized by his long flowing hair. You think about the Jesus character, he's characterized by his long flowing hair. Samson was characterized as being strong and powerful. Jesus does more miracles and exhibits more powers than any man that's ever been alive in the story. Samson, in his death, check this out. In Samson's death, he gets between the two pillars in the temple of Dagon, and he pushes them, and they all die. He commits suicide, right? And if you're pushing pillars, you're like this, right? So Samson, like this,
that's a crucifixion,
brings down paganism upon him. And the Bible says that he killed more people in his death than, for God. And what did Jesus do? He is even between two other sinners. So he's between two pillars. He's stretched out, and in his death, he committed suicide. Jesus did. Nobody sent Jesus to the cross. He went on his own. Jesus commits suicide, and in his death, he destroys the devil's works, just like Samson destroyed Dagon's works. Wow.
Yes, the name Samson means son, or the sun, S-U-N, and of course, Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration, his face did shine like the sun.
The sun.
Like Samson.
Wow. So Jesus and Samson. And if you remember, Samson had a little problem with prostitutes, right?
Yes, he did.
And who did Jesus hang out with, by the way?
Prostitutes.
Sinners. And sinners. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
So I guess the ultimate point here is that we're talking about the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And so they play both sides of the fence.
What was Jesus crucified on? What does the New Testament sometimes say? He was crucified on a tree.
On a tree, correct.
Ooh. The cross is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Because if you understand what happened at the cross, you understand what's good and you understand what's evil.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. But yeah, I mean, we're talking. My opinion, Jeff, when you're talking about major people in the Bible, such as Jesus, Samson, Yahweh, the dragon, Baal, we're talking about the same entity.
They're all the same person. Why? Because that entity is so egotistical. That entity is so full of himself that he's painting himself and all of these he's the hero of every one of his own stories.
Yes, he is. But it's the same person. Hosea 2:16, thou shalt call me my husband and no longer call me my Baal.
My Lord.
This is Yahweh talking.
Yeah.
So it's one and the same entity.
It is. Wow. Powerful shit, man. It just shows again, it's just a cluster fuck. That's what Christianity is.
Yes, it is. That's it for tonight, Jeff. I just appreciate you letting me call in. And
wow,
say
man. That is some great stuff. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2021. It's time to be done with the fairy tales and the bullshit. We just had 2020. They just gave us their best shot. Some of you are going down because they got you. Some of you are like, oh, I'm hit. I'm going down. The rest of us, we taking some arrows, but we're going on. We're into 2021. Some of you are lost in 2020. They got you, not us. We're moving on. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, how's it going, Jeffrey? Hey, I've been wargaming this Pence thing for a couple of days.
Talk to me.
What if he was told to step down because they knew he wasn't going to step up? So if that's the case, could Trump choose anybody he wants for vice president?
I was just thinking that when I sat down here, because I just got that right before I sat down here. And I think Trump he's the president. Well, especially if he invokes the Insurrection Act and emergency powers, he could install a vice president.
I have a prediction. It's come to me over the last.
Are you going to tell me JFK Jr.?
No.
Okay.
How about Michael Flynn?
I don't know if he legally can because of how he just pardoned him. Cynthia was saying, I would love it to be Flynn, but could he do it after he just pardoned him? Does it make it look weird? I don't know. That's the first name that came to my mind, too.
Well, I think as weird as everything's looking already, it better get weird on his part, or it's going to be over.
We either get weird or we get done, or we get over that. You're right. We either get weird or we are over. You're right.
So we'll see. Interesting times, but I think Pence was always a dud. and they always knew it?
Yes, he was actually, I mean, he's not who Trump wanted. He took him because it was like a brokered deal. And
exactly,
because if basically if he hadn't have taken Pence and who was the dumbass, Paul Ryan and
oh my God,
and somebody else, we're going to try to, and Ted Cruz, we're going to try to go together and screw up the convention and bring it to votes and try to get Cruz as the candidate.
Can you believe on this ending note, Mitch McConnell lately and how it's all coming down?
The president can't, if the vice president resigns, the president can appoint a new vice president. So he's appointed a new vice president, and then the appointment needs to be confirmed by a majority vote of both the House and the Senate. But if Mike Pence did resign, Donald Trump could say, Michael Flynn, Jeffrey Daugherty, whoever, you're vice president, and you are vice president. But then the House and the Senate has to vote on you. But are they going to do that between now and the 6th? I don't know. This is really interesting stuff.
I hate to say it, but I don't see this ending peaceably at this point. I see almost like mandatory martial law.
You know what?
It, right? I don't want that.
Can I did hate to say this maybe 2 weeks ago, but right now I am hoping, I am begging, my heart's desire is that we see military intervention. It's time to show these bitches how serious we are. We need martial law. We need to bring the boom.
And my governor is Inslee, and to me, he's a traitor. And to me, unless he's removed, he's going to destroy the state.
I think you're right. There's no doubt about it. He will destroy that state.
And keep going down the coast, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand this. This is a real world, a communist revolution being perpetrated in the United States.
It's asymmetrical warfare.
It is. This is actually a color revolution, a communist revolution. And right now we're losing. You're right.
Because people don't get it.
Because people, why don't they get it? Because their analytical minds are shut off. They're filled up with demon circuit Ingrams, and they don't have the capacity to get it anymore.
It seems that way.
That's why we need a purification of the gene pool.
You know, seems to happen like on a regular basis throughout history, right?
Yep.
Although I think it's from those same people, like that horrible movie, Jupiter Rising.
You know, I saw that thing.
Elements. It had some elements in it.
It did.
The Harvest.
Yep. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Hey, what does your gut tell you? Has Pence resigned, or is it just a story?
I never saw Pence stepping up. So to me, if he could step out this way, I could see him doing it.
Yep. He is a coward. You can see he's a mealy-mouthed little coward. So him taking the easy way out wouldn't be a surprise at all.
Like right out the back door.
Yep. Interesting stuff.
And you know what? Did you ever see any emotion on that guy's face? He looks like Mark Zuckerberg, kind of, in the same sense.
He's about as stiff as Al Gore was, and that's saying something.
I don't know what's up, Jeffrey, but we live in crazy times, man.
And you know what?
And people need to wake the fuck up.
I'm excited.
And you're trying to help people wake up.
Thank you. And we are. And I appreciate your call. That was a great call. Folks, we need to, I know you've been on hold there for a long time, but I got to take my break. I'm 26 minutes over. We're going to, and what I'm showing you, this Bitlosity thing, basically what it is you can give me a few shekels. You can give me $25. You can give me or $75, and you get Bitcoin for it. The way it works is you get in a big long line, and every time your number comes up, you get either $25 or $75 worth of Bitcoin every time your name comes up. So you get your money back over and over again, depending upon how soon you get in sooner or later. It's a way to introduce you to cryptocurrency. It's a way to help you give me a few shekels and get them back more than once. If you love it, great. If you don't, great. And you can't even pay any money right now. It's just to get in and sign up and know when it does get rolled out. So with that, I want to share with you this commercial from our sponsor, and I'll be right back after this, and we will roll right through with your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, when it does get rolled out. Come on, Mouse. Don't fail me now. With that, I want to share with you.
We've gone from bartering to
where's
gold
the sound?
to metal.
Commercial from our sponsor.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's a crazy night for sound. Just watch it.
So
Your
that only
calls,
the fast movers can keep up. And while most people are stuck on the slow track, still trying to figure out an old medium of money, those fast movers in the know are busy accumulating massive quantities of the new money. And let's face it, being first, being fast, and being right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a crazy night for
massive
sound.
rewards.
Just watch it.
So here's the big question. What if there was a way for you to finally be in? A way for you to create more success and security for you and your family than you ever dreamed of. A way for you to not just speed up, but speed up in the right direction, achieving the necessary velocity for success. Would you be interested? Well, let us introduce you to Bitlocity, the ultimate evolution in economic prosperity. Imagine one platform that seamlessly blends the transparency and security of blockchain technology and the peer-to-peer qualities of smart contracts with the mutual leveraging components of crowdfunding. All augmented by the fastest moving compensation plan that this universe has ever seen, designed to pay you directly, repeatedly, and quickly, with absolutely no limits to your earning potential. There's never been a global crypto accumulation model like this in history, but now the time has come. Are you ready? Ready to be on the cutting edge? Ready to be in the know? Ready for the fast track? Over the next several months, millions will join. But if you are watching this video, you can be amongst the first and benefit from the hyper velocity created by the migration of the masses to come. Get prepared to move at the speed of success. Welcome to Bitlocity. Ready to be in the know? Ready for this fast track? Over the next several months, millions will join. But if you are...
Well, I'm not sure. It's like somebody came in and reset all of my settings, and it's just craziness. But hey, that's all right. We're going to persevere. We're going to press on. We have got the worst of it out of the way. We're able to hear callers, and we are back on that, and that's all that really matters. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, Jeff. How's it going tonight?
It's going good. How you doing?
Very good, thanks.
Do people really think that I didn't reset my computer? What do you think I did when I went off the air? I'm sorry, I just got triggered. But do you really think that I haven't reset my computer? And Kurt Gaskin, fuck you right in the mouth. You piece of shit. You're gone. Hide user. Sorry about that.
No worries. Pardon your French, dog. I just wanted to wish you a happy New Year and all of the Late Night in the Heartland family as well.
Thank you. That's the first time I've sprung in a while.
No worries. That's the first time you sprung when I've been on the phone, so it's kind of unexpected there. But and your frustration, it can get frustrating. It's totally understandable for sure. I got a few things here, Jeff. I'll talk about Brandon first. Brandon's phone call. As you know, I had the same thing happen to me in Edmonton when I was trying to fly home here. I was like, a couple months ago now. And I watched Alex's show one night on Conspiracy Castle, and he was I forget the lady's name, but he was talking about this lady that is specializing in lawsuits over masks on airline flights. So maybe if you get Brandon or yourself to get in touch with Alex, he'll give you that information. I don't think she does. If she does, because I'm in Canada, obviously, so I don't think it would apply to me. But definitely, Brandon should maybe find out that her information. She could probably help him with that. So
That's a great point, and thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And the other thing I was going to say, I just saw Nicodomi mention that thing about the monolith in Toronto in chat there. And I don't usually watch the news, but today was my refeed day, so I was at the dinner table eating. And I saw that it looked like just a bunch of, I didn't really look at it for very long, but it looked like a bunch of graffiti on a post. So I didn't really it was just kind of a quick blurb on CTV News tonight in Toronto. So I'm not really sure. Like I saw it mention it in the chat, so I'm not sure for anybody else. Are they popping up all over the place, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a joke, or it's just a publicity stunt, probably by an artist or something. I don't think there's anything to them.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I just saw it. And the other thing I was mentioning with your topic tonight about taking over, they lived like the plan to rule. And I was just talking to a friend today, wishing her a happy New Year. And she went down to her dad's place, the town where we grew up. It's right on Lake Ontario. And she was saying that she was cold. I asked, well, how's the weather down there? She's like, it's really cold. I'm like, oh, well, it's cold here today too, but not too bad. And he lives near the lake. I grew up near the Lake Ontario as well. And I'm like, well, and she's like, well, we stood in the open garage for 2 hours. I said, well, why didn't you close the door? Why didn't you go inside? He's like, oh, COVID. We didn't want to, it's her parents' house.
Oh,
and
my.
I was like, really? Like, so some people are just like, like you said, they just don't get it, unfortunately. It's pretty sad that they stood in their garage for 2 hours.
It is sad.
Visiting with their family.
It is sad.
So, yeah.
And what else do you got for us?
I was watching this. Speaking of sad, I was watching the New Year's Eve celebrations. What a joke that was. There's like a handful of people. It's sad, really, how empty the streets were. And I said to my mom, I was like, look how sad this is. And like last year it was full of people. They were celebrating, and she's like, well, like my mom just watches the news and just indoctrinated, and unfortunately, and she's like, well, that's just how it is now. And I'm like, oh. Like, no, it's not. Like, this is not, this is like a handful of lucky people there. And then A-Rod and J-Lo aren't wearing masks. Everybody else is. So, I mean, I guess you got to be pretty special not to wear masks in that, or I guess it was Times Square, I'm guessing in New York or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we have to get to the place to where we do not accept things like, oh, well, this is the new normal. We have to challenge that and say, no, it's not a new normal. I won't accept it.
Yeah, and I have been doing that, and I've gotten a lot of pushback. But like I said, I keep saying I didn't grow up in a communist country. I don't want my country to turn into a communist country, and I'm not going to stand for this. And
Nika's up there with you in Ontario, and she says that that Toronto's been disappointingly asleep. Nothing happening at all on New Year's, and it used to be such a party city.
Oh, I know. I'm from Toronto originally. I grew up in GTA. I'm from Ajax, which is like pretty much Toronto, like general area. And it's pretty. And like I flew out of Toronto when I flew out to Edmonton. It was like nonstop harassment at the airport, and it's like, it's pretty sad. Like,
you know what, Brandon? I just thought of this. President Trump said there was a big surprise coming on the 1st, and is Pence's resignation the big surprise?
Because I remember you mentioned that. I was like, so maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Hopefully, unless he's still keeping it close to his vest. And
who knows, man?
In relation to that. So who knows? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that's what it is. He hasn't really come out and said anything.
It could be totally, it could totally be just a rumor, but I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later, won't we?
Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully it's something good. Hopefully it's something that he can, get rid of this hopefully it's because with the nonsense that's going on. Hopefully he's going to take the bull by the horns and kind of and take over and and use some of his rights that he has as president.
Absolutely, he needs to.
Exactly, I totally agree with that.
All right,
ours is totally useless here.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the phone call. Always do. Thanks for being part of this great audience. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeffrey. I had a question about reality.
Okay.
I want to know if the duality matrix is an overlay on our reality.
Well, what do you think?
I think it is. I think for one thing, the sun, if it's just a reflection, then there's probably a bigger sun. And there's probably not even seasons. It's just used as a scarcity tactic to generate a false scenario.
Now that's interesting. That is interesting. It really is. Carlene Schaefer says that Monkey Works tracks the flights and said that Pence was on a plane that should have been marked AF2 or Air Force 2, and it wasn't, which would seem to suggest that Pence is no longer vice president. Huh. Now that is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know if it's true, but it's interesting. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Okay, I'm back one more time.
All righty.
I remembered what I wanted.
All right.
So, you know how there's so many religions, right?
So many religions, yeah.
So many different Bibles.
Yeah.
But all those Bibles have the same damn stories.
They do.
What's that all about?
I don't know, man. It seems like everybody's trying to tell the same lie and repeat it often enough to give it some credibility.
That's kind of what I thought too, you know. I mean, there's a great flood in every story.
Yep.
There's a giant of some sort. And for Christ's sake, they're not even using the right crucifixion.
Yep.
In the time of day of Jesus Christ, he'd be up and down, not spread eagle in a way.
Right.
You know. And I don't get it.
Token Toker, you got some friends. They like hearing to you. My wife says she chills out just listening to you.
Well, sweet deal. I'm happy I can help.
That's a really good point, man. You know,
is it because I smoke so much? I wonder.
I don't know, but you know what? The old thing is, if you repeat a lie often enough, people will start believing it, and they've been repeating that lie for a long time.
Do you believe in a quote, Evan?
Do I believe in what?
Do you believe in a heaven of some sort?
Absolutely not. I believe there's another life after this.
Because something I've always thought the Bible stood for was better instructions before leaving Earth.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Token Toker, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty on Late Night in the Heartland.
Hey, Jeff, this is John again. I Googled about him resigning. It doesn't say he resigned from that, but it does say he left his post, and his wife has got some kind of complaint, and they were in the Oval Office discussing this. Somebody insulted her from the medical department in the White House, and she's upset about that, and they're in there having a hash party about it.
Really? So there's some
shit going down.
There's some shit
I don't
going
know
down.
what it is, but she's accusing this medical guy of insulting her or something. You know, it's just really insulting or assaulting. I'm not sure quite. It didn't go into detail. It just said something about him leaving his post. I think it's as the Senate leader there. That's what was talking about that, but not vice president, but as a, you know.
Oh, so he may have just resigned from, I'm not going to act as president of the Senate kind of thing.
Right. I think that's what's going on. Now, I didn't say I did. I Googled and said, did he resign the presidency? It said, no, his post. And he went to McConnell and a bunch of them.
Oh, I see. Boy, that's
and
interesting.
And there's other stuff's going on at the same time. And maybe he needs to be involved with that with his wife right now with the president. They're in there talking about it.
Well, there's a lot of intrigue going on for sure. There's a lot of intrigue going on.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd pass that on to you. I'd look that up while you guys were, messing with the advertisements and stuff. But anyway.
Well, I appreciate that, John. Thanks so much. That's so good. That is so good. Boy, I don't know what's going on. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeffrey. How you doing?
I'm doing good, except for all of my technical difficulties tonight, but we'll get through.
Oh, sounds good. Well, let me go real quick so that I don't get confused. And then I have a lot to say real quick before, because I know you don't have much time. So let me start. Now, if you can claim yourself as a 5th generation American, you could pretty much say you're no longer part of the corporation and you are free. Now, also with that said, when you are born in the U.S., you're owned by the government. That is why they have your...
We don't go down that road on this channel. I'm not convinced of that. And again, this isn't a place for you to call in and preach your gospel. I appreciate you were polite, but I don't go down that road. I don't let people go down that road. And we're not going to go down that road on this channel right now because I'm not convinced it is real. Patriot Dawn just Googled, did Pence resign? Got 4.8 million results. That's interesting. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeffrey, it's Catherine in Ohio.
Hey, Catherine, what's up?
Oh, hey. Well, I got a few questions.
Okay, well, give them to us.
So you brought up divination before, like the tarot, but that's a bad example. But say other ways to divine. But you've got the divining rod. So how do you feel that works with your ideas and?
Well, I don't understand your question.
Oh, okay. So you were talking about how tarot is part of this beast, this system, right? This nasty Kabal system or whatever.
I don't think I ever said that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not word for word. I'm sorry. It's been a few minutes since I heard you say it, but you mentioned tarot anyway. And I was just like, oh, what about the rods? And how do how does that work in with Dianetics, in your opinion? I'm not really wanting to talk about tarot. I'm just curious about the rods. So
the rods have nothing to do with Dianetics. Dianetics is a spiritual technology.
Okay. So are the rods spiritual technology in a different way?
I think the rods just read the ether. They read they pick up on the frequency of energy.
Okay, yeah, I could see that, vibrational.
Yeah, they just pick up this. How do they find water?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's vibration. I mean, I do dowsing myself, so I find all kinds of things. So it's whatever I hold.
I found Rooney before when he was hiding from me. I found my wallet. Tracy Dyer has found her wallet, or actually her charge's wallet. Or it taps into your higher self. I think it's more of the divine mind, which I guess really would be your higher self. But it's a technology, and I think the tarot is a technology too. I don't think I've ever said the tarot was rotten or bad or evil. I don't think I've ever said that.
Oh, okay. I just heard you mention it earlier in the program. That's why I said in the chat. I was like, what about the rods? But anyway. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I'm curious, why do you call them circuit engrams? What's up with the circuit part?
Because that's what L. Ron Hubbard said. That's what he called them, and the guy invented it. So I figured if he invented it, I called him a demon circuit, actually.
Yeah. So this is interesting. I saw somebody compare an ancient black magic spell, like a sigil they draw, to the modern day electric schematics, like say in your wall, and it looks the same practically. I mean, like, black magic one was a little more flourished, but
electric schematics. Thanks for the call. Electric schematics are as different as there are houses and buildings that they're put in. You can't say, oh, an electric schematic looks like this and that looks like a sigil, because an electric schematic looks like whatever an electric schematic looks like for that building. So, yeah, I think anyway, let's just move right along. I appreciate your call. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, I just want to touch on other things we've talked about a bit, like the Book of Revelations, how it's pretty much a script.
There is no Book of Revelations. It's the Book of Revelation.
Revelation. Okay.
No S.
But anyway, you kind of froze my brain.
Okay.
But the whole, as in the days of Noah, that part of it,
mm-hmm.
and then you take I'm sure you've studied DARPA, some of the things they're allegedly doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the limbs have like some crazy surprise for us?
I think they've shot all their bullets. I really do. I think they've shot all their bullets. I think they're done. I really do. I think 2020 was their last best shot. And if we get through this, we get through this. And if we don't,
I hope so.
We don't. I appreciate the call. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the call. Let me just get back to just doing this the normal way here. I'm still on a weird screen here in my phone thing, but yeah, this has just been a crazy weird night. Yeah. Anyway, I was kind of thinking the same thing, but I'm being good tonight. I'm really self-censoring a lot. Tonight. I have really, it's just one of those nights. I don't know if the moon is full, but the crazy is really rocking hard tonight, and that's okay. What did the Rod say about 4 more years of Trump? Somebody asked on Facebook. Is President Trump going to be president for 4 more years? The Rods say yes. So that's what the Rods say about that. Let's check in on D-Live. What's going on D-Live? Cover story, energy. Somebody put a selfie in there. That's interesting. Let's see. Interesting. A lot of good stuff going on tonight. And a lot of weird stuff going on tonight. The vibe is just weird, man. The vibe is just weird in the house tonight, and that's okay. I can dig it. Tracy says, remember, tarot's a card game. 2020 attempted to introduce us to the Great Reset. Will they win or lose? We'll see. I think they're going to lose. But you know what? We're about to find out, because America will no longer be the land of the free unless it's still the home of the brave. And we're fixing to find out, because if it's not the home of the brave anymore, it won't be the land of the free any longer. It's Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Yes. What do you mean by Lycium? Lycium?
What do I mean by what?
Lyciums?
Dude, I don't understand what you're saying.
Lyciums. You've been talking about some kind of group that, I don't know if they're the Jewish group, but do you call them Lyciums?
You talking about the Limish?
Yes. What are they?
It's a code word for a group of people that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I've been.
Thank you for the question, and there's your answer. Wow. Hey, yeah. This is good stuff tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of glad there's only 10 minutes left. Ivanka, what are you trying to do? You trying to get me in trouble? Yeah, and I that's what I wanted to say, Cynthia. I just said, if you listen for a little while, you'll figure it out. If you listen for a little while, you figure it out. It's like people typing in questions. If you'd have typed that into Google, you'd already have an answer. Folks. Ivanka's trying to get banned, and she's working really hard at it, and we might give her wish. I don't need a strong drink. I don't drink because alcohol is a neurotoxin, and alcohol reduces your analytical mind, and I'm not looking to get any Ingrams. Well, we got some good trolls tonight. I love it. And I guess that's the way it goes. Ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, this is the first night of 2021. And we've had some really good stuff tonight. And we've had some really weird stuff tonight. And that's okay. Stay sober, stay strong. I will. I definitely will. I will. And you know what? People are just trying to test my patience tonight, and I'm chilling. I'm taking it easy. I'm drinking my tangerine mango sparkling water, and I'm just taking it easy. Maybe this caller will save us. It's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeff, it's John again. While I was Googling, what's going on?
I hear you.
Anyway, let me just make sure I got the sound off. I think that's what it is. Oh crap! Just a minute. I almost got it. I got it. Did I get it? Yeah. No, it's not going on the phone.
It's crazy.
Okay.
You sound fine over here.
Okay. Kamala, what's her name?
Yep.
She has not resigned her position with her legal, what is it?
Her Senate seat.
For a regular job that she had before. She has not resigned yet because she thinks Trump could win the presidency.
Wow, we're getting some really strange stuff tonight, but that's okay. Sorry, John. Yeah, I know she hasn't resigned. That's a good point. Late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, Jeffrey. You're in fine form tonight.
Oh, man. What a night, huh?
I was doing some research on the whole Lemish being first in America and all that stuff today. And one of the things that I was reading was where when they came over and everything and they first met the natives here, they thought that they were the lost tribes.
Oh, wow.
And there is a lot of information out there to suggest that they were in the writings and the way that they spoke. They said it was very close to Yiddish.
You know, I actually believe, like General Patton, that they're all lost. But anyway.
Well, what made me think is that would sort of give them a feeling of superiority in the sense that the fact that they're the ones that are taking us all down right now, that they have a right to this.
Oh, that's a good point. I like that. That's a very, very interesting thought pattern. Very interesting theory.
When I was listening to Catherine's post tonight, I guess you haven't heard it yet, but you have to watch it. She did an interview telling exactly what's going on. And she said it in pretty layman terms so people can understand. But the biggest takeaway from it is that we are all paying for what they're doing by the way that where we bank, working for Big Pharma, the actual people that are taking us down. And it is about putting us into a slave versus they see themselves, what she's saying is that they see themselves as not even in the same race as us. Like they're in a totally different space. They're going to be living in a totally different space, and that this vaccine does have the whatever in it that is going to put us into the cloud. So they will have the same control, the same thing they did in China, they're going to do to us over here. And then you will have to earn whatever you get, blah, blah, blah. But it goes further than that because she's also talking about how they're going to replace us with robots, basically. So
yeah, we talked about this last night.
Yeah. So, okay. So maybe I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, it says it pretty right out. But my whole thing is, if Trump knows that all this is going on, he would have to be pulling some kind of a really huge, like he'd have to know exactly who these people are and arresting all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, actually, I have no freaking idea what you mean. It was just one big long dog chasing its tail. I have no idea what you mean, and I just couldn't take anymore. It was either cut you off or take this Glock I've got over here and shoot myself right in the head with it. I couldn't take even one more word, to be totally frank and honest with you. Ay. I swear, ladies and gentlemen. It's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, Jeffrey, China, Oakland. I love your suit, Claire. It's pimping.
Damn, I'm so glad you called in. You don't know how bad I needed to hear from you tonight, bro. I've been talking to one fool after another. Lay something good on me. Help me. Save me from myself.
Yeah, there's some dumb motherfuckers here. That one guy trying to figure out what was wrong with the connection. Do that your own time, motherfucker. And I was thinking, Jeffrey, there's something in the air tonight.
There is, my brother. There is.
Buzzing. It feels like we're on the precipice of some crazy shit happening. And my grandpa did not fight General Yamamoto's army. He was popping off machine guns in the sea at General Yamamoto's punk bitch army for 2020 ass pussies to be acting like little cowards out there in America in 2020. We gotta connect with the spirits of World War II because they're watching some of these motherfuckers acting like pussified idiots, Jeffrey. And I heard tonight Donald Trump signed something called the Storm Act. I'm not sure what it is, but I heard the Storm Act. I feel it brewing. I got goosebumps, Jeffrey.
I do too. Just as you said it, I got goosebumps too, man. You know, you are probably one of my very favorite damn callers. I hope that one of these days you and me get to do like a man hug and have some fun together because you are one hell of a dude. I love you, brother.
I love you, and I'll Uchimata judo throw someone for you if they ever fuck with you, Jeffrey.
I got your back too, bro. I'm old as shit, but I'll do what I can. Take care, my brother.
I judo throw the fuck out of there, liberal.
All right, my man. That's some good shit right there. It's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty, and it looks like you're the last caller. Give me something good.
Hey, Jeff. It's Christina.
Hi, Christina.
How are you?
I am actually getting
Happy
better.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank you. Listen, I wanted to end this show on this. I believe Donald Trump's going to kick ass.
Hell
and
to the
names.
yeah. He is.
So,
he is. And I
think
thank
he's
you
got
for
this,
that.
and I don't think we should worry about anything.
And you know what? Worrying about it won't do any good anyway.
That's true.
Thank you for calling in
Like
and
you
ending the
always say,
show
we
on
need
that.
to live in that moment. We need to live past this crap and just start living in the moment and think, you know what? It's going to be okay.
That's
We got
right.
this.
And somebody just said Trump is out of bubble gum. So that means he's here to kick ass and chew gum. He just ran out of gum. So it's just time for some ass kicking.
That's exactly right.
Thank
We
you
got
for the
this.
call. Thank you for ending us on a high note. Cynthia said, this has never happened before. Yeah, this has been, without a doubt, the weirdest show we've ever had. It's the weirdest show we've ever had. The Storm Act was signed into law on 1/1/21. I'm going to have to look and see what that is. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've never been kind of glad that the show was over. Tonight, I'm a little bit almost kind of glad. Tracy says, I'm telling you, this isn't our timeline. We kind of jumped into some weird shit tonight. But you know what? That's okay. Because we are going to make it. We're not going to take it. And we are getting over all of this. Wow. It's been some crazy times tonight. But it's been some fun times tonight. And I'm liking it. And I can't hear my music. My cool music. I don't know what the hell's going on with this stuff. We're going to have to get in and look at everything. I don't know if I got hacked and somebody changed all my settings. I don't know, man. I reset it all. I restarted it all. Should have gone back. It didn't. But hey, it's all right, folks, because it's all good. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This has been Late Night in the Heartland. And we'll see you again on Monday for this show. But we'll have some podcast excellence in between. I salute you for being here seeking after truth. And thank you for being a part of the weirdest, craziest Late Night in the Heartland ever. And until next time, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, reminding you to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or you can give us one of these too if you like. But subscribe, tap that bell twice, and let's keep ourselves motivated. Because remember, we are the last generation of real humans. And now, more than ever, it's time for us to get busy.